Does being a fan of something really make any sense at all?
This is Alicia from Melbourne, Australia. Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning!
Today, whoa! You added a little Today's episode is brought to you by the Rhett and Link store, where you can buy things like shoes and music and shirts, but we're encouraging you to consider buying our music this week in honor of the recent release of our music video, My Hair Goes ...
We are excited. We're wearing red. Our alma mater, that means that's the place where we studied collegiate studies, is North Carolina State University. The Wolf Pack. Feel free to make the wolf signs with us.
The Wolf Pack have made it to the Sweet 16. Now, if you're in America...
Tomorrow night, they play in the Sweet 16 game.
If you're in America, you know what the Sweet 16 is. If you pay attention to American things, you might also know. But if you're outside of America, you may be like, what? Is Link turning 16?
I have.
And we're celebrating it?
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. No, this is the college basketball, NCAA college basketball tournament to figure out who's the best basketball team in America. Now, in my travels around the world,
yes,
I have actually been overseas a number of times, Link, and that number is once.
Okay.
What I found as I interacted with other people my age, well, this is when I was in college, is that the American fascination with collegiate sports is something that the rest of the world thinks is crazy. And they're like, what do you mean? So you go to this place, and the place where you went to school is like, it's really important, and you really care about how they do in athletics. And I would say, yeah, I mean, this is something we've been talking about.
Well, that's what we want to explore. And even specifically with the NCAA tournament, they call it March Madness. So I want to explore the madness aspect of it. Is it truly madness? What do you think? And in general, we'll open up the discussion to be, are you a fan of something, and what makes you a fan of that thing, and why? It doesn't even have to be sports. Sure, it could be football, World Cup, I'm talking here, not just soccer.
You mean football?
Yes, I do mean that. Or it could mean basketball, or it could mean whatever. So discuss, as we discuss the elements of what makes March Madness madness.
Yeah, because I will readily admit I am mad about this, as in I'm really into it.
Crazy. You're crazy.
I sit there, and I've watched the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament. Our team had this totally unexpected year. We weren't expected to be that good, and we weren't expected to really get into the tournament, and then we did, and then we upset two people in a row, and now we're playing Kansas.
We haven't been good
in a very long time.
In quite a long time.
So this is a big thing for us. When we were there at school, we were not good at basketball or football. And so we're just excited about it. And, I'm passing this on to my children. I see myself, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the tournament, and I'm like jumping up and down. I'm yelling at the television. I'm like wearing, this is actually what I wore to watch the game in. And
you hold your hands like this?
When I get really excited, I start doing the barrel hold here.
You want to make sure that your chest doesn't explode out of sheer joy.
And my 8-year-old son and my 3-year-old son are watching with me, and they begin mimicking me, and they're yelling at the TV,
Yeah.
And it kind of hit me as I just saw my 3-year-old saying, "Go Wolfpack!" I was like, what is happening here? Because really what is happening, the reality of it, is there are some 18 to 22-year-old guys that I've never met. And then there's some older men who are kind of telling them what to do and coaching them.
And the younger guys are dressed in mesh shorts and tank tops.
And then, they got the ankles taped up and stuff.
And all these people are gathered around them in seats, ogling them.
And I feel like there's a really personal connection here. And I feel like if they win, that says something about me. I feel better about myself. And if they lose, I feel worse about myself. And my day is ruined. And we're not expected to beat Kansas tomorrow night. It's not likely that it will happen, but it's possible. And I have pinned hopes on that. I will be honest with you. I have pinned hopes on us winning and then going to the next round.
And if it does happen, if we do beat Kansas and go to the Elite Eight, I think you may have to name your next child after
Wolf.
Name him Wolf or her Wolf.
Wolf McLaughlin. That's good.
Wolf or she-wolf.
Superhero. She-Wolf McLaughlin?
Well, there's also a Wolf Blitzer on CNN, and it's just a news guy. So let's not build it up too much.
I like She-Wolf. And if it's a boy, I'm just going to call him He-Wolf. Just to keep it consistent.
But you get really into it. I don't get into sports as much as you do.
Is that why you just have a red shirt on without any actual
right.
identifying marks?
I'm not quite into it enough to spend money on a logoed shirt. But I will say this. I was watching the games past Sunday with Lincoln, and he was mimicking me, and it was a bonding experience. The whole reason I'm a Wolfpack fan is because my dad has always been a Wolfpack fan. You know, they won the national championship in '83. It was awesome. They show the replay all the time, the Cinderella team or whatever they're called. But that's why I'm a fan. There. Well, I went to school there.
That reinforced it.
Yeah, but I was a fan my whole life because of my dad, and I saw me passing that on to Lincoln, and it felt good. But when they won, this is how I choose to describe the feeling. Even for me, a guy who's not a super fan of the Wolfpack or sports in general, when they won, I realized that I had a glow about me that is as close as I will ever get to the glow that a pregnant woman has.
Okay. You felt like a pregnant woman?
I felt like I was with child.
Like you had given birth to the victory?
No. It's when a woman is pregnant, they say
you had given birth to a he-wolf?
I'm pregnant, but I haven't given birth.
If they win at all, you will have given birth to a he-wolf or a she-wolf.
Yes. But at this point, I just have a glow. Like, I just knew you were pregnant because I could tell by the glow. I just knew that the Wolfpack was in the Sweet 16 because I could just tell by your glow. Can you see? I'm just glowing.
Well, there is this personal connection.
Identification.
And I realize there is an actual personal connection. We did spend 4.5 or so years of our lives in this place, and we grew up right around the Raleigh area. And, that is our school. There is the justification for pulling for them and supporting them. But I cannot help myself. Like, even last night, I was watching the video of them coming home from having won in the second round. Mm-hmm. And, all the fans out there in Raleigh, like, receiving them as they come off the bus. And I'm just like, I wish I was there. If I was in Raleigh, I would have gone up there to just be happy about these guys that I don't know doing well in something that I have no control over. I can't, me yelling at the television, me getting all excited, me encouraging them, me wearing my shirt has no impact on it, right? It has no impact on it. But
I certainly hope it doesn't.
I cannot help myself.
And why is that? I think it all goes back to gangs. Everyone needs to be
gangs
in a gang
of pregnant women.
If that's what you're into, yes, knife wielding pregnant women gangs. Yeah. There are people who are into that. There are people who are into the Wolfpack. There are people that are into Star Wars. When the prequels came out and there was, they were released, all these people would show up and it was this experience of being there. It was kind of like your own Coliseum.
You're part of something.
You belong and you're experiencing something in the group. Even when, we had to TiVo a couple of the games and, you turn off your phone because you don't want anybody to reveal the outcome of the game. You want to simulate that you're there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not just that you don't want to know the outcome. It's just that you want to experience being there in the crowd, even though you weren't there. And it's actually better than actually being there because you don't have to stand up the whole time because the guy in front of you won't sit down.
And then when you have to pee, you're like, I gotta go all the way down the row and then put my butt in all these people's faces and then go pee. But now I can just go pee in my own bathroom.
It's about belonging, but balanced with being able to pee conveniently. Right. And pregnant women have to pee all the time. And sometimes they pee on themselves.
And so there's
because they can't control. Well, I'm just being honest here.
Yeah, that's true. Join that pregnant women gang. But there's that personal connection.
I'm peeing on myself right now.
Where you feel like
because of the glow that I have.
Where you feel like you've got this personal connection.
It's warm.
And it makes sense that if I'm really into Star Wars, and then the Star Wars prequels suck, I'm personally offended by that because even though I couldn't have any control over the direction that they would take right? I didn't have any direction on this Jar Jar Binks thing. It's like, I didn't come up with Jar Jar Binks, but I don't like Jar Jar Binks, and I'm personally offended by Jar Jar Binks.
But he's pretty awesome in 3D.
And so I kind of get it, and I'm going out on, this is my conclusion. I think this is a healthy thing.
You're going out on a conclusion?
Yeah, I'm going out on a conclusion. I think that being a fan of something is a healthy thing. And I realize that it can be taken way too far, as seriously as evidenced by that whole thing that happened with the, who was it? The Dodgers and the Giants and the guy that got beat up. It obviously can be taken way too far if violence is involved. But I think that there's a healthy thing in exercising some association with something, and just don't get too excited, don't get too disappointed if they lose. But it's not just completely crazy. Are you a fan of something? You may not be a sports fan or even a sports fan, but you're a fan of something. Explore that. Why? What are you a fan of? Is that what we asked them to answer in the comments?
Yeah, we did. All right, we're gonna spin the wheel and see how to end this episode. But I'm nervous. You know, I'm trying to say they're not expected to win, so I'm just gonna be along for the ride. But I will be just as crushed if and when they lose as if they were, favored to win.
Heroes Goodbye from Link. Now this is like you're about to go and do something monumental and you probably will die. I think it would be cool if you were going to either join the pregnant women's gang, or you were going to go take on the pregnant women's gang, or you were just going to go and play in a really important basketball game. But in any scenario, you have the possibility of dying, and we need you to just say goodbye to us.
Men and women, kids and grown-ups at home listening to me, hearing my voice as it enters your ear, take heart. And you here beside me, take heart and know that I am willfully going forth into the heart of the knife-wielding pregnant women gang, and I am going to bring back the child which was taken from us. The wolf child will be brought back to you. I may not survive, but I willfully go, and I will send back to you the he-wolf child.
How are you going to get him?
Who gloweth.
How are you going to get him back to us?
I'll probably task someone, like one of the weaker pregnant women who's not good with a knife. I will send her back to you with the child which was taken from us.
What do we do with the child that then she has? He's pregnant also.
We'll send that child back to them. Because I am a hero.
How do we get the child back?
And heroes know the right things to do.
Do we send her
with pregnant women?
Do we send her back with the child?
She's gonna stay with us, people.
I'll take the kid back to them.
You're staying with us, pregnant woman.
What if I die when I go back to the pregnant women?
Well then, you will die with honor.
Go Wolfpack.